I'm not sure about talking about this place because even now, months later, my throat tightens when I think about it. That slow, climbing dread that hits before the memory even forms. I keep telling myself that what happened in that cave wasn't real, that it was fear twisting my senses. But that's the lie I use so I can sleep. The truth is simple. There are places underground that don't want people in them. And I learned that the hard way. My friend Kyle was obsessed with caves for as long as I've known him. Not tourist caves. He hated anything with railings or guided tours. He liked the ones where you had to crawl on your stomach with a flashlight in your teeth just to get inside. The unmapped, underground systems. Possibly connected networks. Words that thrill people like him and make people like me pretend not to be scared. He'd been talking for months about a small, unofficial cave system about an hour from our town, an opening hidden behind a collapsed shed at the bottom of a wooded ravine. Kids used to dare each other to go down there, but most never made it past the first chamber because of how tight the crawl spaces were. He called it nothing major. Just a few caverns, maybe 20 or 30 yards deep. Light exploration. Easy. That last word should have been the first warning. We went on a cold Saturday morning. The air had that sharp smell before snowfall, but the sky was clear. Kyle was buzzing with energy the whole hike down, talking about limestone formations and old blasting marks on the rock walls. I nodded along, trying to hide that restless feeling in my stomach. The one that always shows up before a bad decision. When we reached the ravine, the wooden beams of the collapsed shed looked like ribs. The cave entrance was behind them, a cracked opening barely wider than my shoulders. "You're gonna love it," Kyle said, crawling in first. I hesitated. My hands were sweating, even though the air was freezing. But I swallowed the instinct, telling me to turn around, got on my stomach, and followed him into the dark. The entrance tunnel was tight, barely high enough to lift my head. After about 10 feet, it opened into a small chamber where I could finally sit up. The ceiling was low and uneven, dotted with dripping water. Our flashlight beams looked weak against the walls, swallowed by the darkness, swallowing everything behind it. "This is nothing," Kyle grinned, already squeezing through another narrow gap at the back of the chamber. The good parts further in. I wanted to ask him what good part meant, but he was already gone. I followed again. The next section required crawling on elbows and knees. The rocks scraped my jacket, and my breath kept fogging the flashlight beam. At one point, the ceiling dropped so low that my chest rubbed the ground. There was a moment, just a moment, when panic clawed up my throat. If I got stuck, I'd die here. If Kyle got too far ahead, I'd be alone when it happened. But then the tunnel widened again, forming a sloped passage that led downward. The air got colder. My ears felt like they needed to pop. The smell changed too. Not earth, not moisture. Something metallic, like old blood. "Kyle," I called. "Down here." His voice echoed faintly. His tone sounded normal, but something about the echo didn't feel right. It didn't bounce naturally. It carried too far, too long, like the chamber below us was massive. We crawled down the slope and stepped into a larger cavern. For a moment, I forgot how scared I was. It was enormous, at least 50 feet across, with high, jagged ceilings. Our flashlights barely reached the top. The center of the chamber dipped into a shallow bowl, filled with loose stones and old debris. But the unsettling part wasn't the size. It was the noise, a soft, irregular tapping sound, like someone lightly knocking on the rock far below us. Kyle frowned. "Probably water droplets," he muttered, but he didn't sound convinced. We walked deeper into the chamber. Every few seconds, the tapping sound shifted positions, like it was moving around the cavern floor, like something was circling us. I tried to laugh it off, but my voice cracked. "Maybe we should head back soon." "In a bit," Kyle said. "There's one more tunnel beyond that rock pile. People say it leads to another chamber." People? Who were these people? No one we knew had ever actually mapped the place. As we approached the rock pile, my light caught something half buried in the debris. A torn piece of fabric. I froze. "Kyle, stop." He turned. "What?" I pointed my light at the cloth. He leaned down and pulled it free. It was a shirt sleeve, faded blue, torn clean down the middle. Kyle went pale. "That could be anything," he said, but his voice was suddenly thin. Before either of us could speak again, something moved in the darkness behind us. My heart slammed so hard, my knees weakened. I whipped my flashlight toward the chamber entrance, expecting to see an animal, but the beam caught nothing. Nothing except the bowl of stones and the shadows behind them. "Kyle," I whispered, "I think we need to go. Now." He didn't argue this time. We turned back toward the slope we'd crawled down, but the entrance tunnel above us looked different. The shadows felt wrong. The opening looked narrower, angled strangely, like it was shifting or closing. "Did we come down there?" Kyle asked. "Yes," I said immediately, then hesitated. Had we? Another sound came from behind us. I felt my stomach drop so hard, I thought I might vomit. "Kyle," I whispered, "do not turn around." Of course, he did. And the second he swung his light back toward the cavern, he screamed. I didn't see it clearly, only the motion, the shape of something tall, pulling itself backward into the darkness, faster than anything on legs should move. A smear of grayish skin, a limb bending the wrong way, a head too close to the ground. My whole body turned to ice. "Run!" Kyle yelled, shoving past me. We scrambled up the rock slope, slipping on loose stones. Every instinct in my body screamed, "Move!" We reached the mouth of the tunnel and crawled like animals. Elbows, knees, stomach, anything. The stones scraped my skin. My flashlight hit the ceiling and flickered. Behind us, something scraped the rock. Long claws, pulling a large body upward. "Kyle, faster!" I cried. "My light's out," he yelled. "Just go, just go." I crawled until my hands hit open space, the first chamber. I spun around, grabbed Kyle's jacket, and yanked him through. His face was covered in dust and panic. We didn't speak. We crawled through the entrance tunnel, so fast I felt sharp stones slice my palms. Only when daylight hit my eyes did I realize we were free. Kyle collapsed next to me, shaking so badly his teeth clattered. We never reported it, never went back, never talked about it with anyone else. But sometimes, late at night, I still hear that tapping sound in the back of my mind, like something deep underground knocking on stone. And I know, with everything in me, that whatever was in that cave had crawled much further toward the entrance than we ever saw. Thanks for watching No Sleep Tonight, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It truly helps this channel grow. And if you want more unsettling stories, there are 2 more waiting for you on the screen right now. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, sleep well.